Okay, hey everybody. So my name is Professor Kelsey Coes. I am a professor here at Divination Academy. If you have not been with us here before, I'm going to go through just really briefly some housekeeping to let you know who we are, what we do, and a little bit about me, and then we'll get into full moon in Taurus. We are also lunar eclipse as well. This is a big one that's coming up. Like we're finishing 30 years worth of energy here with this lunar eclipse. And it's just so much energy going on right now. Um, that was very weird. The screen just went completely black and then came right back to me. Oh, okay. Can everybody still hear me? That was so weird. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. It was so weird. Okay. Okay, so Divination Academy. If you've never been with us before, thank you so much for coming and checking us out. We are a online pagan academy. We do in-person stuff as well. We are a pagan academy. We believe that all education and stuff should be all accessible and free to all. That is the philosophy that we run off of. And that's everything that we do here for you. So if you want more information about us, the what is going on here? Oh, okay. There we go. The best way to get in contact with us is going to be in our Facebook page. So if you send us a message there after this saying that you want to enroll as a student, you'll get enrolled as a student with us. When you enroll with us, you get access to our private Facebook community. You get access to a bunch of private chats to where you get to be in touch with all the students all the time, and you get access to your professors pretty much all the time then too, which is really awesome. Another way that you can find us is going to be our YouTube page. So this is where almost all of our classes get posted. Um, and then sometimes it does take a little bit to get stuff posted, so just be patient with us. Our professor, our academy director, Alex, she goes through and she reviews every single one before it gets posted to make sure we're not going to break any weird rules YouTube's has and then get in trouble or anything. But they do always get posted there. All of mine do. They get posted there eventually. So if you do ever miss anything, go check it out. Also, we have over 100 videos there right now on a lot of different class topics. So go and check them out. And just watch them learn. That's what they're there for. That's what we're doing and providing for you. And then the next thing that I have here is going to be our website. This is divinationacademy.com. When it comes to that website, we have amazing resources there for you. We have lots of books, bibliography pages, study guides. You get accesses to information about the professors. We have information about our private apprenticeships we offer, as our certification programs and things like that. So those are three ways you can get in contact with us. Just check those out. And then myself, I am again Professor Kelsey Coes. I have been a solitary practitioner for about 15 plus years now. I am a gray practitioner. I'm a mystic. I look from all different paths, all different pantheons, different religions. I believe in balance and duality. So when I practice and the energy that you're going to feel from me, it is going to pull from both sides. I do work with all energies. I don't view things as good versus bad, evil versus bad. I view things as energetic. So I do work with all energies. That's what you'll feel. My energy that you're going to feel tonight, and that's going to come through the ritual, I am very naturally purifying and cleansing. I've been told by students to warn people who have not worked with me before. It can be a little overwhelming at first. And then if you do get overwhelmed, you can ground yourself, drink water, and crystals. One crystal that's very associated to me is lapis lazuli, and that will help you ground to my specific energy, but anything that works with you will work as well. And then my ceremonies are very unique and individualistic. They may sound familiar to things that you've heard, but they will be a little bit different. And I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you love being here with me tonight. So what I do at the beginning here is I start with education. So I teach you about the moon phase that we're in, the sign that we're in, anything else astrologically that is affecting you. And then I go into ritual work. Our ritual work tonight is going to be flowing in and out of meditation while releasing and setting things, letting things go, and really embracing like this graduation, full evolution energy that you're getting from the end of this eclipse right now. And to get that energy really flowing through you. So the ritual is going to move in and out of things tonight, just so that you know when we get to that portion. Okay, so we are in full moon Taurus. We are also in a lunar eclipse as well. Like I stated a couple times here already, this lunar eclipse energy that we're actually working with started in 2021. This is the third and final Taurus lunar eclipse in this cycle. This is the strongest cycle that we've had of eclipses in a couple hundred years. And it has been very, very transformative energy, especially in the year 2023. I'm sure at least once you've probably felt like your life completely get upheavaled and turned around and then rebuilt, especially in 2023. But throughout these 3 years, you probably felt that at least once. That's this eclipse energy that we've been in. It's been very, very transformative. We've been in a very like Taurus is very like focused on, it's very grounded, it's very pleasure, it's very you're living your life to be happy, to make sure that you are fulfilling your soul's purpose. Like Taurus is very grounded and very pleasureful like that. So that energy has been really transformative with us, along with like all the other retrogrades and all the other planet movements that we've had. So that energy, like I said, it's really, really big energy that you're feeling right now. And it's coming to this culmination period. It's like this big, like graduation, like you are reaching this evolution point. Because it is an eclipse, but it's really big energy, eclipse energy. And with the eclipse energy on top of that, if you haven't worked with eclipses before, if you're not familiar with what eclipse energy does for you, eclipse energy is really about it's going to shake things up. It's not going to allow you to hide things from yourself anymore. It really pulls things from deep within the shadows, the secrets that you were hiding, and it pulls it out. And it's like, shaking this up. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. You're going to feel this in a lot of different areas in your life. You're going to feel this when it comes to like career. You may stop projects, stop jobs, walk away from opportunities because it's not going to serve you anymore and you're just done. You may feel this about relationships where it's stagnant, it's unhealthy, you feel like you're in a broken cycle, you feel unappreciated, you feel unheard, and you're gonna feel this ending culmination of like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing this anymore. It's gonna come forth. It's gonna feel that. It's gonna crack that open and shed that for you and like break those shackles and not want you to be in that anymore. You're still gonna feel like the prosperity and abundance that you're gonna feel from Taurus. That's still gonna come with that, but it's really gonna make you want to look inwards and pull out like, am I truly living like the purpose that I want to be living? Am I truly happy in what I'm doing? Am I actually experiencing full, like radical pleasure with the activities and things that I'm doing? It's also going to want to really have you rest though as well while you're doing this because Taurus is very grounded energy. So you're going to feel that need to rest to while you're reflecting and making sure that you feel this coming out. Another part of the eclipse energy is it really pulls away masks. It really doesn't allow you to hide anymore. Like if you've been presenting yourself in a way that's not really true to yourself, it's not going to allow you to do that. Like that mask is going to be ripped away. It's really going to tear that away and not allow you to do that. It's going to make you come into your full soul purpose, your full soul identity. It's going to really push you. It's really going to push for that upheaval. Um, Eclipse energy, like I said, some people say like don't work with it, it's scary. Some people get scared of it because like it is this really big energy, but I love it. It's literally personally my favorite. When you can go in and like really tear things open, like I would much rather like know subconsciously or in what my shadow self is doing and hiding from myself so that I can start to work with and flow with that energy rather than to just sit there and sit stagnant and build and build and build. So like I love eclipse energy because it really it doesn't allow you to sit there anymore. It doesn't allow you to hide from yourself or from anyone. So like that's why some people are scared of it, don't work with it. But I say no, absolutely work with it. Like the shadow work and the feelings, like it really rips it out for you. And like I said, this is a big culmination. This started in 2021 for you. This energy's been with you for 3 years now. It's been transforming with you for 3 years now, and you're reaching this point. For me, like this is super, super significant for me because like that year, my son was born, and my son's a Taurus, and he was born in that year during this huge eclipse cycle. So like it was a huge, like it was big, transformative, like period for me, and like the transformation I've seen myself go through throughout this period. I've seen my son go through, I've seen my family go through. Like this year and this energy's been absolutely transformative and amazing. So like really hold on to also that gratitude and acknowledge those successes that you've had during this eclipse season. Acknowledge those transformations that you've had. Acknowledge those things that you've overcome. Like really sit in like that graduation moment. Like really sit in that moment of like pride and like fully evolving and fully coming to full terms with that. That this is like beautiful energy to be able to do that in. The Taurus energy that you're going to be feeling, like on top of that, I've kind of touched on Taurus a little bit. But Taurus really makes you like reflect on like your determination to make your life good, to make sure that your life feels good to you, to make sure you really truly feel happy, radically like feeling pleasure in your life. It makes you also look at what you value and what you invest in. Taurus can be a very kind of like materialistic feeling. It can be like it's earth, so you get that materialistic feeling, but it's more than that. It's looking at everything that you value and everything that you invest in. Because Taurus also is very like prosperous. It's very like abundance. It's very like bringing forth that good fortune, that prosperous and abundance energy. I feel like a lot of people love Tauruses because they think money, 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 money moon, but it's so much more than just money. Abundance covers so much more than money, and prosperity covers so much more than just money. You can be prosperous in loving relationships. You can be prosperous in education opportunities. You can be prosperous in joy with your family. So like that energy, it goes to all those things. Like what are you living your values? Where is your attention going? Where are you investing your time? And like, is that truly making you happy? Taurus also governs like your stability and your security. So it gives you the ability to also access anything that's blocking you, especially with this eclipse energy. It gives you the ability to access that energy, to be able to move it, to be able to push it around. Like you, it's that bowl. Like they've got that strength. They've got that grit, that size to be able to move those things, move those blockages, move those things that you can't handle by yourself, that you can't carry by yourself. The bull is very like grounded, like I said, grounded, stable, security, like very much so with that. Um, also because like we have Scorpio coming in after this, that's the next like cycle we're coming in. You'll start to feel that energy coming in with this. So just be aware, like that undertone, you will start to feel that coming in. But like I said, it's really that Taurus feeling. And the full moon energy, I'm going to kind of briefly touch that because I did it really detailed my first full moon ceremony. So if you want it really detailed breakdown for like full moon basics and foundations, please go watch that first one that I did in Virgo. But when it comes to full moon in general, like full moon, it's your time for expression. It's when the full moon is simply completely illuminated in the sky. It's reached its peak in its lunar cycle. It's your expression of life. It's harvest. It's making new internal realizations. It's the perfect time for releasing things and letting go of things and truly radically accepting things. And like when I say like radically accept, it's not just like, oh, I accept that and like let it go. No, radically accept means like you feel this to your soul, to your core. You have accepted something has happened, mind, body, soul. There is no like, oh, but what if? Oh, but like, what if? There's like no questioning, like, why it happened out of judgment. It's solely out of curiosity if you question it anymore. So that's what that radically accepting is. And that's like full moon, like really helps you move into that energy. It really helps you understand that. It helps you like come to the culmination of like emotional and energy endings, relationship endings, like things like that, if that's what you need to do. Basics always for full moons. Make sure you're always like focusing on gratitude and results and shedding things, illumination, releasing. It's associated with your yang energy. Activities that you always almost want to do with your full moon is making sure you're charging your tools, you're cleansing your tools, you're making moon water. If you work with a coven, I've been told that coven magic is actually a lot more potent during the full moon. To me, that makes perfect sense. I don't work with a coven, so I can't speak to that speak on that personally. But those who do, I've been told that like your coven magic will be a lot more potent during this time. Also being able to make amends and celebrate life. You want to make sure you're charging your crystals. You're doing any divination work that you usually do with rituals. You want to make sure that you ground. Make sure you bathe in the moonlight at some point in time. Make sure you at least get some of it on your skin. Make sure you feel that you connect to that. If you need to do any type of cord cutting, banishing, anything like that, full moons are a great time for that. It's a great time to be doing that. And it like, because it's a type of releasing work. And money spells, super, super great to be doing money spells. When it comes to full moon, I do one for each cycle. It's just a little bit different, but for the full moon one that's super simple and like super easy that you can do for money and prosperity spells for the full moon. Um, I prefer to use quarters, but you can use any coins, but try to make sure it's all three of the same. But you grab like three of the coins, you put them inside of at the bottom of the clear bowl, and then you make sure that you have adventuring and rose quartz like near the bowl with you. You have moon water, you put water in there, you charge it overnight underneath the full moon with the coins in there, your crystals by them, and the water in there, like charging the full moon water as well. When you go out in the next morning and you get the coins and you bring in your water, you bring them out, you make sure that you anoint the coins with whatever intention that you want for prosperity and abundance. I'm not going to give you like words that to do because it's going to be very personal to you, but you anoint them with whatever verbal intention that you want for specific like abundance and prosperity and money for that. Once you do that, you thank them for the energy that they're going to provide for you, and then you place them in three different places in your life to where you will have regular contact that will remind you of prosperity and abundance. So one typically goes in my wallet, one goes in my husband's wallet, and one goes in my son's diaper bag. So money spells, great. That's a super basic, simple one that you can do. Full moons are great for that. Um, apologize. And then also make sure that you're cleaning out your physical space during full moons, wall cleansing and clearing, and any of your like smudging or anything that you do like that, or saging, if that's part of your practice. And when I mean like clearing out your space, I mean you need to be doing it very intentionally. It's where you are creating your energetic container while you're literally making sure you're sweeping out every single inch of your home. Like you are going to every single inch of your home. And I like to call it like sweeping out the negatives, like literally just sweeping out my home is kind of what I call it. But you are visualizing whatever light you work with. A lot of people, when it comes to like purification and cleansing, they work with white light, or like a golden light. I personally, like I said, I'm a gray practitioner, so everything I do is typically with gray, light and energy. So that's what I visualize. But whatever you connect to for your visualization, your energy, you need to be visualizing that and either speaking out loud. It has more potency when you're speaking out loud, but you can also think it as well. I don't think that just thinking intentions makes it not happen. Some people do, but I don't. So you can do either or depending on your practice and your personal beliefs, but make sure that you're doing that while you're literally clearing out sweeping out every single inch of your home. It's a great way to cleanse, clear it out, and then you get all that negative, stagnant energy that has ever built up during that lunar cycle out at the same time. So make sure it's getting all the way out your home, and then any dust, any debris gets released back to the earth. So make sure that you do that. That's very crucial for my practice. I remind you guys every time to do that. It makes a world of a difference to get that energy moved out of your home. Um, specific mantras always to focus on with the full moon, making sure you're releasing any patterns, behaviors, or things that no longer serve you, and making sure that you're not afraid to let go and being open to receive joy and abundance because everything's in balance. So if you're letting go, you also need to be accepting and receiving something. So making sure anything that you're letting go, you acknowledge what you are going to be receiving instead. So making sure that you are creating that balance. In the study guide, I have any full moon correspondences that will work for me, that can work for the full moon. I also have affirmations and prayers that can work for you, and rituals and releases that you can do every single full moon that are great for basic foundations. The correspondences, if you haven't been to one of my classes before, what those are, what those mean, is those are anything that you can use that's going to attach you to that symbol, that energy, that entity, and be able to help you honor and show reverence and respect. And again, like I said, attached to it. So those can be used in altars, those can be used as offerings, those can be used in spells. That's what a correspondence is. It can be anything that can be used for those purposes, and attach you to that energy. Okay, let's see. While I just double check and make sure I didn't forget anything that I wanted to make sure to touch and talk about, do you guys have any questions at all? There's a lot more information in the study guide, so definitely make sure you look at that too, because I broke down the astrological forecast for you guys this month just because there's so much energy and so much going on. I wanted you guys to know like specifically everything that would be affecting you that is in there. I've got lots of different rituals, like I said, for the full moon in there for you specifically to use. When it comes to like Taurus energy, correspondences that will work for Taurus specifically. Actually in full moon lunar eclipse energy specifically, you're going to want to make sure you're connecting to your sacral chakra. The element of water for Taurus is going to be the element of earth. Um, and then also like with the lunar eclipse energy, making sure you're connecting to the moon as usual, but like represented a little bit more right now because it is in the lunar eclipse. And then any like ritual, like one ritual I really recommend for eclipse energy is any type of ritual that you would use that would absolutely release any pent up feelings through voice or movement. So one thing that I really like to do during eclipse energy is it may not sound like it's a ritual, but rituals can be as simple as you would like them to be. But a lot of times what I love to do during eclipse energy is I will go outside and I will ground to the earth. And I will connect to the earth. I will say whatever prayer and incantation that I feel that I want to say at that time. And then I literally hold in and I bring in all the energy that I possibly can and any energy that has been pent up throughout this entire lunar cycle, this entire eclipse. Sometimes I'll even pull back from it, like as far as the year, depending on like how much space that I have to hold. I will then sit there and I will energetically hold that energy for at least like 5 minutes while I'm grounding. And then I literally just scream. I scream it all out while I'm grounded to that earth and I release all of it. So that is a ritual in and of itself. And it's a great way to release. It's a great way to do that. And it's a great way to connect those different energies that are going on right now. When it comes to Taurus energy as well, let's see. I want to make sure I get you guys correspondences. Make sure you have them. So Taurus as well. Heart chakra specifically for Taurus. Planets is also going to be Venus. Your allies connected to Taurus that will help you also connect or may help you get more clarity or answers are working with Virgo, Capricorn, and Sagittarius as well. Really specifically Virgo and Capricorn. Plants that will work with this are going to be fir, cedar, burdock, thyme, daffodil, yule, chestnut, apples, acorns, for fruits and other things. And then ways to connect that Taurus energy are doing things that make you feel comfortable and grounded and secure. Doing things that make you feel like pampered and luxurious and like very full pleasure. Like self-care, like spa day, like things like that. Also anything that's like a simple little thing that just gives you pleasure that you just like to do. Anything like that that you absolutely like to do would be great to connect to Taurus. Colors that you can use are going to be green and pink. You can also use the numbers 2 and 6. If you are the divination user and use tarot, the Hierophant is a card that's going to be connected to this for you. So if you want to do any work with that or have that placed at your altar, if you do any altar work. Animals are going to be the bull, the cow as well, but typically the bull. And then crystals that work really well with Taurus are going to be your green aventurine. That's that prosperity, that abundance. Rose quartz because it brings in being like helpful and reliable, which is a very Taurus type quality. And then you also have tiger's eye just because they're very patient, determined energy that you can pull in with that as well. And then with the moon, since you do have the full moon energy going on, you can also always use selenite and moonstone. And then clear quartz are always, it's an amplifier for everything. So clear quartz as well. I do have shadow work prompts that I would love to have you guys work with if you guys are willing to do some shadow work. Especially with this season, this eclipse energy, this Taurus energy. Eclipse is fantastic for shadow work. So areas that you're going to want to focus your shadow work are going to be like, what do I do to value myself most? How do I value myself? How can I value myself more? Where do I need to slow down in life and not rush so much? Because Taurus is all about being stable and grounded. And then where do you need to be more stable and grounded and feel more stable and grounded in your life? You can also really do shadow work right now on your finances if that's something that you struggle with. Now is a time that you can really look inwards to figure out what those patterns are, what's causing you to keep repeating those patterns, how to deal with like your self-worth and money, because usually those are tied together if you have issues with finances. So right now is gonna be a really great time to focus your shadow work on those specific topics. Um, Great. Like it's in because like I said, prosperity, Taurus, abundance, and eclipse, it's gonna really like you're not gonna be able to hide. Like if you choose to do the shadow work on that topic, like the eclipse energy is gonna be like, well, your money problems because are the way they are because you're making shitty decisions. Or like it's just it's gonna let you know like really what's going on. If it's tied to self-worth, if it's tied to, you didn't grow up with a lot, you didn't have a lot growing up, so now you just want to give everything that you possibly can to your child. Like it could be so many different things that it's just gonna pop up for you and let you know like what's going on. Um, let's see. There's so much in here for affirmations and things like that for you. Um, I would really recommend, because we have a lunar eclipse going on, that you would do some type of aura cleansing or chakra work. I did put a ritual in here to help you kind of work on that aura cleansing. Because like I said, this is energy that's been cultivating that you've been working on for 3 years. It's gonna be a big explosive like energy that's like you're gonna be feeling like tying up and coming to an end. And there may be some negative things that came through with it that you are gonna want to cleanse. You are gonna want to clear out. You are going to want to go forward because we do also have our new year starting in a few days. So you also have that big energy coming through. So you have this eclipse energy coming through. You're feeling that culmination, that ending. So you want to make sure that you're ready to go for that new year as well, that you're cleansed, you're purified, you're ready to go. You have your intentions to go for our new year. Um, let's see. Okay, I'm going to jump back into the chat just to see if there's any questions. Okay, do you guys have any questions so far? I'm gonna take that as a no. I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see any hands coming up. Okay, fabulous. Okay, so I think I've really gone over everything that I really wanted to make sure you guys knew for this energy and everything that you have going on. Make sure to get out into nature. Make sure that you're like I said, you're being grounded, you're touching nature, you're getting the moon. It's a very intentional walk where you're enjoying the pleasure and doing things that are going to make you happy, make you notice, make you grounded, and be everything around with around you. But again, you're going to also feel that need to rest. So make sure that if you feel that need to rest and kind of nest and snuggle into like that energy, like do it. If that's where your intuition is pulling you to go, follow it because that's what you need right now. And that Taurus will help pull that because it's all about stability and being grounded. So it does force you to rest when you need to. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is, yeah, I've gone through everything I wanted to make sure that I touched for you. Nope, honestly, thinking about thoughts and shadows. I'm glad that you're thinking about that. Memory and scenes. Oh, I love that it's really making you reflect like that. It's been doing that a lot for me too. The last 3 years has honestly probably been the most transformative years of my life. It got completely turned upside down, and I'm in a completely different place than I am. I did a lot of very intentional healing and shadow work during this time, and I had no choice. Like this eclipse energy that we've been in and dealing with like the last 3 years and all the retrogrades, like there was no way I was getting around it. And it really like shoved my face into it. So like I love tonight too, like that feeling, that graduation feeling, like that energy. Like I'm probably gonna get very emotional while I'm casting circles and doing ritual here in a little bit because like I've been pretty emotional all day today. It's been coming up a lot, just like understanding like where I was and where I am now, and being very grateful for what this energy provided for me throughout this time. And also, like I said, it's for me, my son's very attached to this energy. So like this is a big like culmination point for that. And he was brought in with this energy. So super, super special for me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, if you've been with me before, I always give you guys a few minutes before I call in circle, cast in the directions and all of our guardians and gatekeepers and all of that fun stuff. Before we do ritual work, I always give you guys a few minutes to get, everybody has different words for it. Create your sacred container, your sacred space, drop in, get into a meditative state, get grounded, whatever your verbiage is, you can use whatever you want. I usually use sacred container. So if you hear that, it means all of those things. So I usually give you guys, 3, 4, 5 minutes to get into that sacred container, to get in that sacred space. I have a few things I need to get reset into the altar that I am going to be giving to you. So any incense recommendations? My personally tonight, I'm using sandalwood and sage tonight. Just because I really wanted to be basic with the incense I was using tonight because of all the energies that are here and how big the energies are. So I'm using a combination of sandalwood and sage. So I will give you guys, like I said, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to get in that space. I have a few things I need to reset on the altar so that it's ready to go for this space for you. Because again, like because of the time of the year that it is and all the energy, there's some deities here as well that are showing up that need to be represented. So I need to make sure that that's all taken care of. So I am going to shut off my camera for a minute and mute myself. I will be back. I want you guys to go ahead, get into your sacred container, your sacred space, your meditative state, drop in, whatever it is you call it. I'll be right back while I get this the altar reset. I call to the spirits and guides of each person in this circle. I ask you to please come closer. I ask you to encircle and surround us with love, protection, wisdom, and divine connection this evening as we gather to celebrate the fullness of this moon, an event that we will witness over and over again in our lifetime. I ask that it may never lose its magic for us. The gatekeepers of the four directions, I thank you for turning your gaze towards us this evening, and I honor your sacred presence, and I thank you for your guardianship. I call to the direction of east, the element of air. I ask you, the element of air, to invoke movement in my life, to create the flow of energy, to teach me to move with ease, both within and without myself. I ask you, the element of air, to allow me to no longer be bound by my circumstances, my fears, or my failures. I ask you, the element of air, to please rise all around me. Create the winds of change and remind me how powerful and graceful you are. I honor you, element of air, as you are the breath that I breathe, and you are the life force both within me and within each and every one of us within this circle. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of air, I see you and I summon you, and I thank you for holding the Eastern Gateway tonight. I call to the direction of south, the element of fire. You are both a candle flame and a wild. I call to you to the element of fire, who is also the dry heat of desert winds and the erupting of a volcano on the islands. I call to you the element of fire, who represents the passion of burning lovers. I call to you the element of fire to teach me, to kindle my flame, to burn bright within me, to burn long, and to not be bound by convention or boundaries or rules. I call to the element of fire to please burn all around me, and as your flames grow, please help me to learn the absolute, unlimited power of my fearless expansion. I honor the fire within me. I honor the courage of my wild spirit, and of those of each and every one within the circle tonight. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of fire, I see you. I summon you. You are here, and I thank you ever so kindly for holding the Southern Gateway for us tonight. Call to the direction of west, the element of water. You are both the raindrops that fall from the sky in the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. I call to you to the element of water, and I ask for you to remind me that you are both the sustenance of life, so overpowering in strength that you could completely crush me and drown me. I call to the element of water, to the rivers and the oceans that expand across continents to connect people to each other. I call to the element of water, the dewdrops in the morning leaves, and the soon-to-be frozen over ice on lakes and rivers, and soon-to-be snow falling. I call to the element of water. You are both feeding and nourishing. You cleanse and bathe. And you also drown, and you represent the cycles of life. Teach me, water, to ride the tides and the waves of my world, the universe, and my life. Teach me to swim gracefully against the tides when needed, and to swim with them when needed. Teach me, water, to not be bound by my desire to seek land or shelter, but to be able to trust to just float where I need to be. The guardians and gatekeepers of the element of water, I see you, I summon you. You are here, and I thank you ever so kindly for holding the Western Gateway tonight. Call to the direction of north, the element of earth. Mother Gaia, you are the continents. Call to the element of earth. You are the trees, the wilderness, each and every animal and creature on it. I call to the element of earth that's full of massive, uncharted spaces and places that are wild and free where we have not touched, no human has been. I call to the places where I have lived and died and lived again. I call to all the places on the earth I have touched and been to. I call to my ancestors and their bones that have returned to you, just like I one day will. I call to the element of earth to teach me to hold the massive expanse of my feelings and to work and walk in this life with grace and to honor your depth. To teach me to not be bound by my fear, to be grounded and stable, and to remind me of my unresilient strength. I ask you, element of earth, to allow me to be grounded, to allow me to bury anything no longer needed, to allow me to be rooted and supported, so that my branches may grow and I may bear my fruit. I call to the element of earth to allow me to know when to stand my ground. I call to the element of earth. I thank you, guardians and gatekeepers. I see you, I summon you, and I thank you ever so kindly for holding the Northern Gateway tonight. I call to all guardians and gatekeepers, ascended masters, spirit guides, other entities, interdimensional beings, and anybody who wishes to be within our circle tonight, both above and below. I ask you to be here with us and to hold those gates tonight. I thank you so very much for your time and your energy and your intentions. Amen. Aho. So motivated. Okay, guys. Now that we have the corners called in and the corners are here, what we'll do here first, we'll do a little bit of intention and releasing work. So in the event thing I had posted today, so if you don't have it already, you can run and go grab it. I need you to have two of your favorite crystals with you, some pen and paper, a candle, any candle. If you want to work with like a specific color, right now I would recommend green or yellow, for prosperity. And I personally have both that I'm using tonight. Yellow is here for Lakshmi. She is one of the deities that's here tonight. She is a Hindu deity and goddess that does amazing with prosperity and abundance. She turned my life completely upside down. The first time I worked with her, I went from homeless to having my own home. What she brings to you for prosperity and abundance is amazing. So that's why I have her here with us tonight, and she was also calling in because she pulls in this energy. So that would be a color that I would go grab if you don't have one already. And then you also would need any incense that you use or herb, and then one sacred or special object that represents something that you want to manifest. So something that's attached to you personally that you want to manifest. So for example, my item that I have that I chose for this is it is a representation of a kitsune because I am being very, very intentional on expanding my intuition right now. And I'm being very, very intentional on expanding my psychic abilities further than where they are right now. So I want to make sure that my connection to my spirit guides are manifesting um, a lot more intentionally and stronger. It's something I'm working on. So that's my special object and what I chose, but it can be anything that you want. Lakshmi. Pretty sure I spelled that right. Yes, it's Lakshmi. She's the Hindu goddess. One of the big three. I'm actually teaching a bonus class on her in November, and I'm hosting a bonus a ritual to honor. She has a 1 day in the 5 days of the Hindu festival Diwali. There's one day, the third, that's actually dedicated solely to her. So I will actually be doing and hosting that festival as well. Because she's amazing. So give me a thumbs up, wave, whatever, when you guys are ready. Because we can do this. I apologize. We can do this this intention setting. Okay, I will wait for thumbs ups and smiley faces or whatever you want to do. Whenever you guys are ready. I have a heart. Size of one person. Fabulous. God, why am I? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna give you guys like one more minute here. So what we're gonna be doing with this, is it is like an intention setting that's also a meditative like intention setting. So there is going to be like you are going to be like meditating to be able to like have it visualize what your intention should be. So the intention you're going to set is going to be what's going to be pulling up to you and coming to you with this Taurus energy and this eclipse energy and this full moon energy and with the crystals being there with you. This is going to be the intention that you set. When it comes to the intention setting part, I just want you guys to remember when you're writing out your intentions, you need to write them out in present tense. You need to write them out as I already have or I already am. Like you need to like write it out as if it's something that is already done. Not a I will do this. It is a I am doing this or I am or this. Like it's very, very direct. So when you get to that part, just I want to remind you of that. I taught you guys this in the last couple full moons, but I just want to remind you of that when it comes to that intention setting part. Okay, so before I start bringing call down the moon and bring in the meditation part for this intention setting, what I want you guys to do is I want you to make sure that you guys are in a quiet, sacred space because, like I said, you will be doing a little bit of meditation here with me. I've already casted your formation and your circle, so you don't need to worry about that. I've already casted your guardians and your directions and your spirit guides, so they're already here and you don't need to worry about that. The next step that I would like for you guys to do here now before we start this next portion is now is going to be when you are going to light your candle. If you're using just one, you can light one. If you're using more than one, that's fine. Right, Lakshmi here, lighting. So now is when you're going to light your candle. And then next is going to be when either, depending on what you grabbed, if you grabbed incense, if you grabbed an herb bundle, if you grab sage, if that's part of your practice, you're going to grab that. And you are going to want to smudge, clear, cleanse your area and your space. So you're going to want to do that over that candle. So always make sure you're going counterclockwise with your motions. If you're going in a circle, you need to be visualizing your white healing intention setting light, if that's what you work with. If you work with a gray cleansing, purifying light or sponging light, that's what I would like for you to recognize and imagine right now. You're going to be setting the intention that you are going to be drawing down the moon. You are making sure that you're setting the intention of all your spirit guides being surrounded with you right now. So you're going to ask them to join you. You're going to ask any deities that you are going to be working with to join you if you work with them. If you work with any elements, you're going to ask them to join you now while you continue to move your bundle and your incense and your sage around your space, around the items you're using, including the pen, the paper, your crystals, the 2 crystals you grabbed, your candle, your special item. Don't forget to really cleanse and clear and sage out your special item you grabbed to connect to. So right now, remember you're visualizing the intention, visualizing that color, whether it's white, gray, or gold. You can even mix in some yellow and some greens for prosperity and abundance. Okay. Let me know in any way when you feel like your intentions are set and cleared, your space has been cleared. Let me know when you feel you're connected to your space. Remember, counterclockwise is going to be the motion to remove any stale, old, or negative energy that's around you. You don't need to use your whole bundle or stick either. You feel your intuition, you feel out your sacred space, you feel your energy. We'll let you know when your cleansing and your clearing is done. And try not to. Now, if you're still cleansing and clearing and moving the energy, I'd like you to try to draw that to a close so we can bring our attention to our candle flame. And what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to take a few deep, slow breaths. I'd like you to take your hands and place them in any way of reference that you show, whether it's in a prayer sign, whatever symbol or wherever you'd like for them to be. I'd like you to take a few more breaths in and out. Now I'd like you to stare at the candle flame as we call in our Mother Goddess of the Moon and the stars. We ask, please bring your presence to us from afar. I ask that you help us to manifest on this night, your night, and to bless us with our sacred rites. Grant us knowledge and clarity, and to understand the words, the images, and the intentions that you send to me. We ask for you to lend us your power and to send us your light, and to aid us in all of our intention setting and our work tonight. With love and wisdom, please embrace all that is within this sacred space. We call to you, Mother Moon. Bring us our message, clear and true. Sit and a couple breaths out. Now next, I would like for you to grab the two crystals that you chose. And your one special sacred item. Let me know when you guys are ready. I would like you to have a crystal in each hand. You should have two, so you should be able to do that. Your special item that you have with you, I'd like in front of you, centered where you can see it. I would like you to hold, like I said, those two crystals in your palms. And now we're going to take some very intentional meditative breaths, focusing our energy on our hands and focusing on the energy that's coming through those crystals. We're going to ask the crystals what energy and what message they are going to provide us tonight. So while you are holding them, I want you to visualize whatever it is, the energy that you use, whether it's white light, golden light, gray light, whether you're using green or yellow tonight for abundance and prosperity. Make sure you're visualizing that energy, you're visualizing that light. You feel it in the palm of your hands. You feel it wrapping around your crystals, embracing them, speaking through them. Focus on that energy and visualize the intentions that they are wanting you to hear. Do this while you're looking at your special object, grounding and using that as your center focal point. Breathe in and out. In and out. Notice any energy that's flowing between your hands to your special item. What does it mean? What does it feel like? Is it showing you a specific image? Do you hear something? Do you smell something? Do you see something? What is that energy telling you? What is the intention? What is that theme that you need to feel? Feel that energy moving from your right hand to the sacred special object to your left hand. Feel and see and visualize the energy moving from your left hand to your sacred special object to your right hand. Take another deep breath in. Is it showing you intentions for prosperity and abundance? Is it showing you intentions for shadow work? Is it showing you intentions for tuition? Is it asking you to simply just sit and rest in your pride and your successes and your transformations? Is the energy kind of hectic and chaotic and moving and bouncing all over the place? So do you need to hone in and let go of some things so that you can focus and get stable and grounded? Are you taking on too much? Now I want you to look back at that candle flame. I want you to connect that Mother Moon energy. I want you to visualize that brilliant, pouring, illuminating, soul revealing white light that comes from the moon. All around that candle flame, all around that candle. I want you to see and feel that energy moving from that candle to your sacred item and object to your hands. In whatever direction it feels it needs to move between those items. I want you to ask this full moon what it is that you need to release that no longer serves you. What pain is sitting there that blocks you, that keeps you from your connection to the divine, because it can do that. You let that sit there stagnant too long, it can do that. It can block certain areas, certain connections for you. So ask to release any and all pain so those blockages to the divine can be removed. Ask to cut cords to any and all traumas connecting you that you endured in your past so that you may start new today, free of guilt, free of hurt, free of self-bondage, free of self-sabotage, so that you can truly sit in this graduation transformative moment that this full moon, this Taurus eclipse is bringing to you. Ask the moon to release all that self-hatred, that self-doubt, the lack of confidence, the feeling like feeling pride and accomplishment and success is selfish. I don't know if you struggle with that, but I do. Releasing it all, asking the Mother Moon to pour her amazing, brilliant white light between all these energies for you. Now I want you to ask, as you look very intently at your secret and sacred item, that is the representation of your intention. It's a representation of what you want to manifest. I want you to look at that very lovingly, intently. You may start to feel uncomfortable. That connection, that energy may start to become overwhelming, but I want you to sit in it. I want you to listen to what that item has to say. I want you to ask this item to go very deep into the shadows and release what is hidden that is blocking and not allowing you to manifest this intention. I want you to ask this item and this special object to be very honest with you. And I want you to say back to this item and this object, I'm open to receiving whatever it is you have to show me. In, out. Now, what I'd like you to do is for the next couple minutes, I'm going to have you sit in your quiet, sacred space, connecting to that flame, connecting to your sacred item, connecting to that channel of energy between your hands and those crystals. And I want you to ask repeatedly, what do I need most to fulfill this intention and this release? You may not like the answer that comes. The emotions may become intense. The feelings may become a lot. And that's okay. I want you to breathe through it. I want you to accept it. I want you to be willing and open to hearing it. When you feel that you have that intention set, when you feel that you have it ready, I want you to grab that pen and I want you to grab that paper and I want you to write whatever it is that comes. Do not think about it. Just don't hesitate. Just let it flow. That is the intention. Those are the blockages. That's what you're trying to release. So again, I'm going to let you sit here 2 minutes and continuously ask, what do I need most to fulfill this intention and this release? You've gotten to the point where you have felt the need for that release and that visualization, and you have felt that flow to pen and paper, please let me know in the chat. I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes to sit with that for that release. Mm. Mm. You guys, I'm going to give you about 1 more minute here before we close out this energetic container. You guys have released a lot, by the way. Um, I got that wave. Also, Persephone has joined us. Just you know. Okay, everybody, deep breath in. I want you to notice the flow of energy between your hands. I want you to slowly visualize it releasing and letting go, and the color dissipating as you release and let go of your crystals, setting them down and thanking them so much for the energy and service they just provided for you. I call to end this prayer. I call to end this energetic container, and I ask to be grounded and guided and protected by my higher self, my spirit guides, and my angels, my ascended masters, deities, and all other beings and entities that guide me, so that I may have the focus and the strength to bring my intentions to fruition, to come back to them every day, to remember their energy, and to be thankful for the cathartic feeling of the release. I thank the highest good for my blessings and for the opportunities to make this world a better place and to find my true soul purpose and divine meaning in this universe. I call back the guardians and gatekeepers of the direction of north. I call back the guardians and gatekeepers and beings of earth. And I thank you so very much for you holding the northern gateway tonight. I call upon the spirits and guardians and gatekeepers of the east, the element of air. I call you back, ascended masters, deities, guardians, gatekeepers, and all their beings for the element of air. And I thank you so much for holding the eastern gateway tonight. I call back the guardians, gatekeepers, and the spirits of the element of south. It's the direction of south, element of fire. I thank you so much. And I release you for holding the gateway of the south. I call back the guardians and gatekeepers of the direction of west, the element of water. I thank you so very much for being here tonight, and I thank you for holding the western gateway, and I ask you to release it. I call back all guardians, gatekeepers, ascended masters, other dimensional beings, deities, entities, spirit guides, elements, energies, and any other deity and being that's been here with us tonight. I thank you so, so, so very much for the energy and connection, divine wisdom, and guidance that you provided here for us tonight. I thank you so very much for holding each and every one of the gates. I release you. I look so, so, so much. I look forward to seeing you again. Amen. Aho. Somo titties. Okay, guys. I hope that that release brought a lot for you. I'm going to tell you, I know it did. I feel it. I actually was going to do another activity with you guys tonight, but you guys released so much. I don't know if I can hold the container much longer for that. So I'm actually going to say that I think that you guys got everything that I wanted you guys to get out of this. Um, and I really, really hope that you guys felt it. I really hope that you stick with it. When it comes to the paper that you wrote your intention on, there's a couple different things that you can do with it. You can choose now to burn it, release and when I say like burning it, you're doing it in a way to release that intention, not to let go of, but it's a release as in a promise that you are going to fulfill this intention, that you're going to keep coming back to this intention. If that's how you would like to burn it, you can do that. I was just going to say that too. Thank you so much, Jalinda, for putting that in the chat. I was going to mention that at the end. Yes, this is be a perfect time to go and burn the intentions from the last new moon ceremony. If you weren't keeping track of them and pulling them out as they were manifesting throughout that lunar cycle and you were choosing to keep them till the end, now be the perfect time. Remember I told you guys that you can either bury it in the earth and not burn it. You can just burn it and then you can keep the ashes to make it for black salt, or you can also burn it and then bury the ashes. So you have three different choices of how you guys can dispose of that. Make sure when you're doing that from that new moon ceremony, you're also making sure you have the intention of gratitude. You have that intention of release. You have that intention of being very thankful for those things manifesting and coming to you during that lunar cycle. Like you're doing this in a way of releasing an absolute gratitude and thankfulness. So make sure that you have that intention there. But then like what I was saying with the paper for tonight, you can burn it now if you'd like to. Personally for me, mine's actually going to be going to my altar. It's going to be getting added to part of like the charging um portion. It's something specific. It's something that I do with my altar. So it is mine's going to my altar. So that's something that you can do with it. You can also just keep it if you put it in your moon journal thing or in a journal, or if you put it in a book of shadows or a grimoire and it's in there. You can also keep it in there as a way for you to come back to remember that intention, to come back to on shadow work throughout this lunar cycle, to come back to for intention setting. So you have a couple different options of what you want to do with that portion of the ritual to keep this going forward for you. When it comes to that special item that you used, if you use an altar, I would love for you to place that on your altar and have that be there for you. If you do not use an altar and that's not part of your practice, have it somewhere in your home, in your life, in your space to where it's going to be a very continuous visual and energetic reminder for you to connect to. And that, like you said, like that energy, I was very intentional with you guys connecting the energy back to that item for a reason during that ritual. So it can be a place for you to come back to for grounding, for intentions, for releasing throughout this lunar cycle for this. And then remember, honor Taurus, go do your own stuff, go do your own moon ceremony, go do your own ways to honor this energy. And again, I've taught you guys this in other moon ceremonies, but if you haven't been with me before, you don't just honor the moon and that energy specifically on that day of that full moon. You can do it that entire lunar cycle. So you're really going to encompass that energy. And please, 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 I can't suggest it anymore. Do shadow work for this eclipse. Please do shadow work for this eclipse. Oh, thank you. I am all about I'm all about being open and authentic. Like that's just who I am. But thank you so much. I love it. It's just who I am. Thank you. I super appreciate that. Okay, do you guys have any questions before we go? I know we went longer than when I expected, and I kind of figured that was going to happen. But any questions, any comments, anything that you guys need from me energetically before you go? I will keep my channel open probably for like the next hour before I completely close myself off to you guys, energetically. So you will probably still feel that full for about an hour and then I'll shut that down. Any questions or anything at all? Okay, I take that as a no. Okay, thank you so much for being with me tonight, you guys. I appreciate it so much. If you are in any of my other classes, tomorrow we're going over the Morrigan. That was my reschedule from that class from this week. Sunday we're going over Hecate and Hecate, however you pronounce it. There's a couple of different ways to pronounce her name. But we're going to be going over her. If you haven't looked at that study guide, I recommend looking at it beforehand. It's 84 pages. There's a lot of information I had to go over for you guys with her. Keep an eye out for that. And then we have Samhain on Monday. So, I'm not Samhain, Samhain. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I slip into that neo-paganism pronunciation. But Samhain we have on Monday. I'm really, really excited for it. So again, thank you guys so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys got what you needed out of this, and I hope that it really helped bring forth some combinations from release for you. Okay, have a good night, everybody.